In today's Leeds news, Rutter on Leeds pressure, new roles advertised, away kit teased, PSR Gamble, Solomon wants Spurs stay, and today's rumour mill. Morning folks, welcome back to The View for Friday morning, the 6th of June for your Leeds United news. Last news video of the day. There will be something out over the weekend in some form, probably an adaptation of the big up goalkeeper conversation that we had into a video format for people on YouTube. Also, if you're listening to the audio of this as well, there might be a little bit of disruption to that. We're currently considering moving away from Acast after some pretty interesting correspondence with them over the last couple of days, so there might be a slight interruption when we move platforms, but for now at least it will still be there. But let's crack on and start off with the news, because there's a bit of stuff to get stuck into today. I'm going to start off with Jorginho Rutter and the pressure of playing for Leeds. And last summer Jorginho Rutter left Leeds for £40 million, and as we all know, he had his struggles at the start when he joined Leeds United, and wearing that Leeds United shirt comes with huge expectation as well as pressure, and we are all very aware of that. Rutter had a good first season at Brighton last year in the Premier League. He started 19 games and was involved in 28 in total before a injury shortened his season. Rutter has been speaking about his change of clubs and says the pressure of playing for Leeds United helped him to adapt to life back in the Premier League. And on the Leeds United subject, Rutter said the following: "When you play for Leeds, there is big pressure to win every game and you have to give the fans something back. So when I came here, I was more ready and able to carry that mentally. It helped me a lot having already played for a big club and having gone there for a big fee. My first season wasn't great, but the second season was much better. I felt freer, given my form had turned around, and I have been able to continue that way since I came here." Leeds did, as I say, pick up £40 million for Jorginho Rutter, and we will see him back at Ellen Road at some point this season should his injuries be behind him. And move on. There are some new roles been advertised, and Graham Smith's piece in the Yorkshire Evening Post today has a little look at some new roles that have been advertised, and the restructure and reshuffle behind the scenes at Ellen Road continues. Leeds have recently launched job advertisements for a host of roles, as they tend to do at this time of the year anyway. Leeds are looking for roles including academy coaches, sporting and physio roles, families for YTS players, as well as matchday hospitality roles. There are 4 other job roles that caught Mr. Smith's eyes, and Leeds are looking for a head of football analytics, a data engineer and scientist, a principal data scientist, and a software engineer, as well as a recruitment coordinator. All of those roles are linked to the Leeds recruitment team, transfers and player trading. Newly appointed managing director Robbie Evans is known to be an expert in data and an enthusiast for data analytics, and is overseeing the restructure of the Leeds United recruitment team, and he will head that up this summer, and he appears to be putting his mark on that team right now. You can find the finer detail on those roles if you're one of those kind of people that wants to apply for these roles. All that detail is in Graham Smith's article in the Yorkshire Evening Post. You can check that out if you want to. Let's move on and talk about the new away kit that was teased a little bit in some way yesterday. And this time last year, Leeds had already launched their new white kit with the, at the time, controversial Red Bull logo embossed across the front of it. And we're starting to pop up advertising around Leeds for the away kit that was being launched, the yellow kit at the time, which is being rested for this season to maximise sales when they bring it back next year. That tends to be how the marketing works on these things. But we know from earlier leaks this year that the home kit will be an all-white kit with embossed elements of the Lowfields tunnel. Ignore that tile picture that's going around. It's a concept creation that was put out in January. But the away kit is also believed to be blue with elements of white, but some ex-players have leaked some small detail about this that might mean there's a bit more yellow in it than we thought there would be. Leeds Champions League's veterans will play some part in the launch of the 25-26 away kit, and the new blue away kit will take inspiration from the 2001 to 2003 blue and yellow Nike Strongbow kit that you can see on screen right now. Pascal Struijk was also seen wearing that shirt at the end of the season last year during the promotion celebrations before the title celebrations, and the YEP says that most images for the kit launch were captured around that time at the end of the season, but that additional media work has been done with some shots of the legends and fans taken in Halifax. Fans will also be involved in the launch video of the kit and will be joined by Mark Viduka, Michael Bridges, Ian Hart, Gary Kelly and Nigel Martin. If it's anything close to the 2001 away kit. It'll be a fantastic shirt, one of my absolute favourite Leeds shirts, and why Leeds don't do more blue and yellow kits I'll never know. I think they always look fantastic when they are done. We'll have a break from the yellow this year. We'll probably have it back next year, and they'll do it, alternate it that way. But it'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Let's move on and talk about the PSR Gamble this summer. And based on the current PSR and league history, Leeds will only be allowed losses of up to £61 million this summer. And that's due to 2 seasons outside of the top flight in the Championship. So Leeds will need to be a bit more creative in raising money and also maximising player sales. And Leeds have already started that with the £120 million additional revenue being brought in through the share sales. That was one lever they've already pulled, but new commercial deals as well as a short sleeve sponsor would likely see more revenue come in that way as well. Football finance expert Dr. Dan Plumley believes that Leeds will be forceful in this window, but thinks that they will have to sell as well. In his piece in this week's MOT Leeds News, Dr. Plumley said the following: Leeds are going to have to balance their spending with player sales ultimately, unless they're being risky, because the PSR limit is £61 million for them due to the seasons in the Championship. They'll be aggressive, they'll have a go, but I think given that PSR number, it puts a little bit more risk into it, as we saw with the Forest situation a couple of years ago. But of course, we know how that one has played out. So you've got to balance that risk and that reward. Leeds will spend, and if we start to see spending of the sort of £100 million mark, it's going to have to come with some player sales attached as well. This summer, Leeds have been rumoured to have plenty of exits planned at the club. Players like Jack Harrison, Ilan Meslier, Pat Bamford, Max Ferber, Joe Gelhardt, Sam Greenwood and Darko JB have all been named as potential sales this summer. You add to that the fact that Leeds have already sold Rasmus Christensen during the Championship PSR window. Might add more money to that, and if Leeds can recoup anything between £25 to £30 million, people have corrected my £50 million aspirational number already, it's absolutely fine, but if they can bring in that 25 to 30 million, then it might give them some wiggle room there as well. There could still be a surprise big PSR sale in there as well. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked to see somebody that we don't want to go and don't expect to go move in order for Leeds to balance the squad better, and we've seen that with other teams in the Premier League. And before we get to the rumour mill stuff, let's start. Just come out this morning, and that one relates to Manor Solomon. According to the Boot Room, they claim exclusively that Manor Solomon has told Spurs officials that he wants to stay at the club despite interest from Leeds United. TBR's chief correspondent Graham Bailey understands that Solomon has told Tottenham that he still believes that he has a future at the North London club. Leeds are said to have Solomon as their priority target this summer, but Spurs are in no rush to sell, as Daniel Levy now knows that he has interest from Leeds United and Everton in the winger, and can likely pit them against each other to drive the price of the winger up. If Ange Postecoglou stays at Tottenham Hotspur, an exodus of Manor Solomon could then happen after he deemed him surplus to requirements last year. But if Spurs do go down the line of changing their manager, then that could be the end of the line for Manor Solomon. Bailey told the Boot Room the following on Solomon's situation: I'm told that Solomon still thinks that he can force his way back into the Tottenham Hotspur first team. He has gained so much confidence from his spell at Leeds and now feels fully adapted to the English game. He's a very interesting option. Spurs like him and are ready to let him prove himself during the pre-season tour. By that logic, it means that Solomon won't be coming anywhere near Leeds till at least the end of the transfer window, if at all. And I'd say that that's likely why you're seeing Leeds eye up wingers like Frank Honorat and Igor Pajau as well, in order to try and get a replacement of a high level in there, should they not be able to bring Manor Solomon back to the club. I think Leeds would potentially look at this and decide, let's move away from this one now, because it could be more complicated and delay their plans for the start of the season. Let's move into the rumour mill stuff, where we will clarify and end a couple of rumours that kicked in yesterday. We'll start off with the first one, and this is relating to Kristantis Uche, who yesterday was linked to Leeds by Africa Foot publication. His agent has now come out to set the record straight on this one, and according to Uche's agent, links to Premier League clubs yesterday are said to be fiction. The agent didn't rule out an exit away from Getafe, but did say that the player is quite settled in Spain. And on the topic, he said the following: we are calm. When the transfer window opens, you'll hear a lot of news, some fiction, some gossip. It's too early to say what the outcome can be. Even though it's a good thing for the lad, it shows that he's doing something right. So at the very minimum right now, Kristantis Uche is put a pin in it, stick it to the board, possibly not happening at all. There might be some inquiries, but currently nothing formal. So at that point, Kristantis Uche is possibly off the rumour list. Move on to the second and final rumour that's popped up today, and it's an old rumour that's come back around again and was expected and linked over a month ago was Thomas Soucek, but a report in Leeds Live today states that they don't believe that Leeds will start making moves till the June 16th transfer window opens. The current window closing in 4 days' time and then reopening again on the 16th. The current window being open more so for Club World Cup sides than anybody else. West Ham are said to be lining up a replacement for Soucek, and the report says that could make Soucek available for anything under £20 million. And Leeds are said to have some interest in the midfielder. Soucek would add proven Premier League experience to the club, and last season he started 30 times for West Ham and scored 9 goals in the Premier League campaign for the Hammers. Some people are worried about his age, but the fact that he got through 30 games last season as a starting player and scored 9 goals, I wouldn't be overly worried about that one just yet, and Leeds will need to add Premier League level experience if they were to avoid being involved in a relegation scrap. But an interesting one nonetheless, but £20 million, a lot of money, maybe a bit less than that, but we'll see. Folks, that'll be it for me today with the news. Massive thank you as always for supporting the channel. I will be back over the weekend with something for you to digest. I'm back on Monday morning for the news. We'll see where we are, getting closer to the other window reopening, and we'll see if Leeds make any moves at that point. Folks, have a great day, great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. See ya. Bye.